Hello and welcome. My name's Super Saiyan and this is your weekly news and pre-order video covering all of the new releases from Games Workshop and Forge World. I think you probably tell that I'm using my other microphone today, and I do sound a little bit better than I have been the past week or so. So I am on the mend. Thank you to anyone that wished me to get well soon. It is tough to continue releasing daily content when you have a spout of illness, but luckily I had a few videos in the vault to release, and that means that I've started releasing the Soulblight Gravelords unboxings and reviews, as well as the Gloomspike kits. And even though the videos haven't been that popular, it's something that I wanted to do, and it's something that I've wanted to do for a long time, and definitely gives a bit more variety to the channel, other than just, Space Marines all the time, as awesome as Space Marines are. And you probably notice I've also been live streaming some Resident Evil gameplay. I have now completed both of them. And because I've been live streaming like every day or so for a few hours, it's made me seriously contemplate creating another channel just purely for gaming, and then we can keep it separate. What do you guys think about that? You probably are already subscribed and members of, various channels. But in a way, I don't kind of want to, bombard you with lots of channels to be subscribed to and things. But at least there would be that separation if I went down that route. Please do put your thoughts below. And as always, I want to say a massive thank you to all of you members. You really do help the channel and support it. And if you can't support it by being a member, using that Element Games affiliate link is also a fantastic way, as well as using the Patreon. Even if it's $1 a month or so, it all helps. And if you can't support the channel at all monetarily for all of this daily content, then donating on a video if you found it useful or entertaining, being a subscriber, and just leaving comments, it all helps. So a big thank you to everyone. Let's get into the video. So we'll kick off the video with the Warhammer community website right here. We'll look through the news. There's been a lot of news this past week, and a lot that I've wanted to talk about. So if we just roll back the clock to the 8th of April. So right here, Black Library pre-orders last weekend on Saturday. We had the last Valerie by Gary Closter. It's a Soulblight Gravelords novel. I will pick it up, but it's in hardback. It's £18. You know my feelings on those at the moment. Hollow King though, by John French, definitely pick that up. It's in softback as well. So that's what Saturday kicked off with, along with all of the pre-orders for the Ossiarch Bone Reapers and the Soulblight Gravelords. I think there was a bit of a faux pas to begin with, because they listed the Soulblight Gravelords battle tomes twice at the start, and they went back and they changed it to Bone Reapers. Lovely looking books, but as always you can get the War Scrolls online for free. I would pick this up if I didn't already know that Seraphon are just around the corner, and Be like to invest in that army rather than Ossiarchs. But I do have a few Ossiarchs in the Battle Force, is it? Box, which will be coming to the channel at some point. You've also got the Mortison Ossifector, a little video as well. You've got the Vanguard Ossiarch Bone Reapers, again, lovely Vanguard if you haven't got any of the miniatures or the cavalry at all. Or the Death Riders. I will be picking that up at some point. You've got the cards, and then on to Soulblight Gravelords, which you've seen all over the past week. I've had a fair few unboxings of them. When they first were released, I think it's a couple of years ago now, I did cover them all, except for that one big HQ unit that's half bats, half purse. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I didn't cover that, but because I've now released all the unboxings for Soulblight, I can crack on with the reviews. But we might have to wait a few more weeks for those. Then you've got the special edition, or limited edition of it, and then the new model Ivy Volga Outcast. And finally, after a couple of years, we can get the White King on Skeletal Steed. We first found this one in the sort of Start Collecting box set. And speaking of which, we've now got the Vanguard for Soulblight Gravelords, which is a nice kit, don't get me wrong, but I just found that the Death Rattle skeletons were a bit lackluster, and of course the cavalry, like all cavalry in Age of Sigmar right now, is a bit constrained with your options. You've got the cards and you've got the dice, and then Middle Earth had a spout of made-to-order miniatures. And that was it. That was pretty much it for last week, Saturday. The day after, though, oh wow. I didn't expect the line to be this early. I thought that we'd have, Azrael and Vastor and maybe the 2 Horus Heresy tanks this weekend, but no, Games Workshop have completely opened the floodgates. So good luck. You're probably watching this after all the releases, because I like to record the new releases part of the video on the Saturday at like sort of 10 o'clock. So yeah, later on in the video you'll see my reaction to things that are sold out and things, but I think a lot of things will be sold out, and not for the reasons that you'd automatically think of, such as popularity. I think it's scalping all the way. I think people are picking up this set in particular because it's got the art cards as well. If it was just the line model on its own, I don't think people would scalp as much, but because it's kind of like a package, and it's, I say, reasonably priced, it's £65. When you consider that the resin line miniature is about 100, yeah, it's going to sell very quickly. So are the Arcs of Omen limited edition book as well. We also had Azrael. I mean, I get it that they're releasing it at the same time as the Lion, but they didn't need to. He wasn't that long released in the box set with Vastor. Dante, they kind of have to release him because he was, leaked, which is a shame. And this is a thing, like, leaks are fun, don't get me wrong, but they have massive consequences for not the timeline, but the, release schedule and things. So I know everybody wants new exciting miniatures early and sooner rather than later, but sometimes they look out of place. I think the Chaos Space Marines were another one that happened to. Vastor the Arcaphane, I've heard that he's going to be £60, which is absolutely crazy. I mean, yeah, I get he's quite a large mini, but yeah, that's going to be quite pricey. You've got the dice for Sanguinary Guard, you've got Leagues of Votan, Boarding Patrol, and the Agents of the Imperium. So if you've been holding off for picking up Leagues of Votan from last year, then now is your chance to get them at a reduced price, a more value. The Agents of the Imperium, again, at least this set's got 2 Boarding Shields for the Boarding Patrol, and it's got a cheeky assassin in there, and it's your chance to pick up the Elicidian Star Striders in the set. I think that's alright, that one. You've got some made-to-order Drakari, and then Horus Heresy. They could have just released the Cerberus Heavy Tank Destroyer, but no, they've gone full anti-tank this weekend, and they're deciding to release both the Cerberus and the Sakaran Venator, which has debuted before in resin. So this will be taking cues from the plastic Sakaran kit that's already in play, and just releasing a separate plastic box. I wonder how many more Sakaran variants they're going to pump out in plastic, because you've got the Arcus, you've got the Punisher, you've got the Omega, so a fair few that are out there. I don't know whether they'll turn all of them into plastic. Blood Bowl, you've got Cindy Pie Whistle and Puggy Bacon Breath. Brilliant names. I mean, absolutely fantastic. And then Black Library, you've got the Return of the Lion in Mike Brooks's new book, The Lion, Son of the Forest. Now, if this is going to be anything like Alfarius, that will be pretty cool. You've also got this special edition version of the book, this time with a full sort of material cover, rather than the Angron book, which had, I think sort of 2/3 of the front was a different material, but the back was all of this material. Legends of the Dark Angels, that is in paperback straight away. I don't think that's in hardback. And then you've got a couple of other novels available in different languages. And Warhammer Plus, we actually get an animated show this week, finally. They've been out of content for quite some time. No paint guides or anything like that this week, though. Then there was an article about White Dwarf, just showing you number 487, War of Iron. For some reason they've got the Red Angel in there, and for some reason they've got the data sheet. Strange. Who's Who in the Galactic Smackdown, that is Arcs of Omen the Lion. So you've got Vashtor, Abaddon, Supreme Grandmaster Azrael, Commander Dante, Angron, Lionel Johnson. So they're the big names. 40k, so this is the new 40k, the Ambush Predator, the Von Ryan's Leaper. Interesting. Yeah. Looks quite cool. They have much in common with lictors. Rather than being lone wolves, they're pack hunters. It kind of sort of defeats the point of them being lone wolves then, doesn't it? They just, why buy one lictor when you can buy three? Am I right? Put the forces of chaos to the sword with 3 rules for Lionel Johnson. You've just got to spend £65 on him because he's behind a blade guard paid wall. I don't think many people are that annoyed that he's behind that, because I was expecting him to be more, but it is a cheeky way of them almost getting £70 out of you for a plastic Primarch. Yeah, I would have preferred him just on his own with no artwork, nothing, just for like a straight up 40, maybe at a push £45. But yeah, because I think in this bundle it raises that initial price for people getting the Lion, and also it's a scalper's dream as well. So I don't think everybody will be able to pick up the Lion today, which is a shame. You've got the Rumour Engine, 11th of April. Definitely Tyrannid looking, I think. You've got Commander Dante is back. This is a new data sheet for him. So it's 175 points cost. He's got his 2+ and then 4+ invulnerable. He's, weapon skill, ballistic skill 2 pluses, 7 wounds, 7 attacks. He's got this pistol called the Perdition pistol. Very short range, but pretty damaging. You can reroll attacks of 1. The death mask of him. They have to subtract 1 from the attack's hit roll, and so on. I used to take him a lot of the time in my army back in the day. Just because he was all in one. He was movement of 12 inches. He had his power axe. He had his tank busting pistol, and he had his invulnerable save and plenty of wounds and things. The very same day, we had a trailer for Warhammer 40,000 Bolt Gun. It's coming out on the PlayStation 5, as well as the Series X, Xbox One, Switch even, and PC. I'd check out the trailer. It looks fantastic. It just looks like Doom, but as a Space Marine. Well, Doom guy is a Space Marine, but you know what I mean. It's in the 40k sort of universe. It looks fantastic. I'm definitely picking it up on release, and I will be live streaming it. So if you want to watch me play this kind of pixel sort of first person shooter, I mean, look at that. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Really hyped for it. I think there's also a bit of a discount right now up until release day if you kind of pre-order it. But when you pre-order games digitally, you have to pay for them straight away. It doesn't take the money out on release, so just bear that in mind. But I will be here on the 23rd of May if I can pull myself away from playing Zelda, and I will be live streaming that. New 40k leaders now join squads. So this is a model we have never seen before. Very, very rare that we'd see one of these. I think it's called a lieutenant. Bit unfamiliar with those. And then, yeah, we've got a little article about that, really. Then Warhammer Community investigates how do you design a hero like the Lion. So they go through some questions with the lion. It wasn't that long ago that we got the resin miniature. It was the second to last Primarch we had. The last being the Khan, and then before that it was the lion. I'm still undecided what head to go for. I'm definitely not going for his Jumanji Hunter kind of head. I might go for the Doctor Doom with the hood. I mean, that's, you know, ubiquitous to Dark Angels, but I do like the winged helmet too. I haven't yet decided. We'll see. It's very fancy looking like that, and that's fancy. You know, that having his winged golden helmet will just match how fancy the rest is with the lion and the Emperor's shield. Little interview with Mike Brooks. So about the new book. And then Hunt, Feculent, Maggot King, and Fractured Memories in the Warhammer Plus debut of Black Talon. So that's the new little animated series. Painting the Lion, 40 Years of Warhammer, Middle-earth, Faction Focus, Isengard. So you got some heroes, you got some warriors, tactics, army lists. I think that's great that they're still supporting this after so many years. He says while talking about, you know, Space Marines. Warhammer 40,000 Meta Watch. The final balance data slate of the edition is here. And then Horus Heresy Thursday. Odd this one. It looks very vanilla. It looks very bland. It's hard for me to get excited by this model. Not because it's yellow and not because it says Dawn on there, you know. But just because, yeah, the pose, just not a massive fan. Maybe it's the colours. Maybe it's the blue and the yellow. And the fact that it is Imperial Fists and it's an Imperial Fist Psyker. Like, maybe if they had this as like Word Bearers or Sons of Horus or something, I know they have to be quite fair in the models that they paint for you know, which legions, but I can't get excited about this one. And he's also in resin. And my first initial thought when I saw this model, I thought, that's plastic. You know, that hasn't got that much detail on. You could easily make that in plastic. You know, with the power plant, the helmet, the shoulder pauldrons, the cloak. We've seen plastic cloaks like that before. This even, right here, this looked solid. You know, when they just do a straight up solid run through of a cloak, which I haven't done for a while, but I remember that. I just can't get excited about it. I really can't. And yeah, it's in resin. So when I say it's in resin, I mean, it's going to be a similar price to what they would have released in plastic anyway, let's face it. But still. I still prefer it to the Esoterist, though, that they released a couple of months ago. Bring justice to Warhammer 40,000 with free rules for the Adeptus Arbites. Okay, you would have thought that this would happen anyway. So these Adeptus Arbites, they get the 40k rules. I mean, I don't know how they're going to fare, you know, on the battlefield, but there you go. You got the vehicle article about how they're even tougher. You got Big Brother's One Track Mind, and you got community painters, stunners with gorgeous visages of the lion. Yeah. Very nice face that he's painted there. Very metallic looking. Interesting use of lighting. That's cool. Oh, wow, they've added a bit to the base there. Yeah, that looks awesome. Wow. They have given a lot of free lions out, haven't they? Anyway, on that note, take part in decisive battles and get a crash course in breaching walls with Arcs of Omen the Lion. You got weapon rules of fun and flexible, and then Old World Development Diary, Old Bases, and Barons of Bretonia. So, yeah, look at the weapons. You've got Assault Heavy, Assault Cannon, Devastating Wounds, it says. A critical wound inflicts a number of mortal wounds on the model. Wow. New Terminator looks amazing, doesn't it? So, yeah, that's it for the news. A lot of news to cover over this past week, more than I've seen the previous few weeks. So that's great. Let's hop on over to Forge World and have a look at the pre-orders. There is only one, and it's just these two models. So quite quick stop here at Forge World today. We've got Cindy Pie Whistle and Puggy Bacon Breath, £26, so kind of £13 each for these. Looks like he's balancing his subway on his finger or something. He's fingering his sub. I don't know. What's he holding there as well? Salt and pepper. And she's just about to hurl a pie or hot pot, whatever it is. 7 components for these. And that's it from Forge World. Nothing else. So let's have a look at Games Workshop and see all of these, out of stock miniatures and books and things. Okay, so this is the part of the video where I would normally go through all of the Games Workshop pre-orders and things, but how can I put it? But due to their massive incompetence, they have severely underestimated how popular the Lion was, and it's unforgivable. It really is unforgivable. They are the ones that have been hyping him up for ages. Many articles, pre-order him, you can get him with this, all the rest of it. They even put him behind a paywall, and now they can't deliver. Did you really expect anything less, really? So I'm not even going to spend very long on the Games Workshop web store. What I'm going to do is move over to Goblin Gaming, because other third-party sites have also had vast amounts of traffic. I've been unable to get on any of the websites, web stores today, because of bad gateways and all the rest of it. It's been horrific, but yet it still hasn't stopped people from being able to buy the Lion. So yeah, really, really odd, because you'd think if you were having the problem, everybody would be having the problem, and it just seems to be not the case. So we're going to look at all the new pre-orders and things on Goblin Gaming today, which is something that I wouldn't normally do, but this is the only way I can view them and show you what's up for pre-order and how much things cost. For some reason, they've got Wave 2 of White Console's Captain Macinius, so great, you can pick up him if you wish. You've got a Christmas pre-order, advanced pre-order apparently, for Orc Goth Rocker. You've got the Sikaran Venator. Now this is £50. I unboxed and reviewed this about 7 months ago, and it was £47.50. So it's only really gone up by £2.50. But yeah, they have them in stock at the moment, so that's great. Dante is out of stock, and he did go out of stock quite quickly, not as instantly as the Lion, but still, he will set you back £27.50. The dice are also out of stock. Not sure why. Be paying £22 for 15 dice, but they were on a bit of a saving. Vashtor, very expensive, £60 there for Vashtor, but yeah, he hasn't sold out. You can kind of see why when you're selling the Lion for £52 with a discount. Azrael, £27.50, again quite pricey, but a lovely mini. You've got the Lion and Retinue out of stock everywhere, and Games Workshop, of course, is down. You've got the White Dwarf, which is up for pre-order. Arcs of Omen, the Lion rulebook, that's out of stock. That was £35. The Boredom Patrols, both of those went out of stock pretty quick. And then the Cerberus Heavy Tank, £70, same price as the Typhon. Looks fantastic. And then you've got a couple of the novels. So you've got the The Legends of the Dark Angels, I thought that would be snapped up pretty quick. £15 for the softback omnibus, but they are quite old novels in the omnibus, and you can pick it up from other booksellers as well. So don't feel too bad if you miss out on that. It's usually the hardback books that go out of stock quite quickly. And then The Lion, Son of the Forest, in hardback, that has gone out of stock at a number of places, and that was £18. So a little bit different to my usual pre-orders video, in that I'm on a completely different site that I wouldn't normally be, but time is of the essence. I've got lots of other videos and things to make today for the following week, so that's why I'm doing it over here instead of Games Workshop, because I don't know when Games Workshop's web store is going to be back up and running, but there we go. Anyway, what do you guys think of the absolute mayhem of all the pre-orders and things this morning? And yeah, I won't even suggest you go and look on eBay and to find out how much people are trying to sell the Lion book for, and the Lion and his retinue. Just avoid it. Don't give them your hard-earned money. Don't pay double or more for these things that will be out again, separately and cheaper. So please keep your patience. Yes, it's great to get these models and things straight away, but if you can be patient, then you'll get them eventually. What do you guys think? Please do put your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.